Hey guys, this is Stephen Dorr. I'm an artist. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am really bad at this. I've had the YouTube channel since 2018. I did things here and there. I did tutorial things. I did live stream. I did shorts, which was like the best momentum I had back earlier this year. And here's the thing, I really suck at consistency. Part of the reason is because I have a hard time getting in front of the camera and just talking. I could talk your ear off in person all day long. I'm an extrovert. If I really know you, if I'm really close to you, I could talk for hours. But until I know you, well, I can't be standoffish. I'm probably gonna delete that. Anyway, I want to talk about fear. I just paced up and down my house for the last 20 minutes, prepping myself for a stupid video. And I couldn't bring myself to do it, so I finally had to just say, do it. And it's just so hard. Anyway, I think a lot of us can relate to, in some form, letting fear drive us to do or say things, or not do. So I want to tell you a story. When I was growing up, I would visit my grandparents' house. And I would visit my grandparents' house, and almost always, my grandpa was down in the basement working on usually an oil painting. Sometimes he was doing some woodworking, but he just had this little basement studio with all of his tools, all of his paint supplies. And I used to go down there and watch him for hours. I loved watching him paint because I draw. I've drawn since I was 4 years old. And so I was really into art, and I wanted to be an artist. I have a muddled story relating to that, which I won't get into on this video. Suffice it to say, I was really into art. The one thing I regret is never asking my grandpa how to paint. I don't know why, but I always felt like painting, oil painting in particular, was so far beyond me. I was doing cartoons up until recently. I was just doing little make-believe creatures, fantasy, sci-fi. I would dabble a little bit in realism, but I thought it was way beyond me. I went on for years thinking that oil painting was beyond me and that it was too slow. I didn't let my curiosity overpower my fear. I feel like a lot of people do that. It makes me sad. You need to be more curious and less afraid. I need to be more curious and less afraid. Even with this YouTube channel.
It's a dumb video.
Paced my house just like almost like I was a fighter getting ready to get in the ring and knock somebody's lights out, but I was afraid that I was going to get my lights knocked out instead. I am fully prepared that this video might be cringeworthy. I don't know. I'm curious about what a YouTube channel could do to help me in my art business and connect with people, artists, people who enjoy my work. I want to be more curious and less afraid. Recently, before I got into oil painting, this is my most recent project that I'm working on right now, and it's kind of in its beginning stages. This is not how I started out. I really wish I would have kept it. My wife and I, we did a date night just at home, and we decided to do a paint and sip date night. So we got canvases. I wasn't even doing acrylics. At this point, I was doing a lot of hand drawing, ink, watercolor, gouache, and I was learning those mediums. But I'd never done acrylic. and my wife, she bought all the supplies, and we were looking up YouTube videos on how to do abstract work. We watch this video, right? And it's a time lapse. So I'm missing, because of all the edits, I'm missing the time for like dry time for acrylics. Even though acrylics dry super fast, I was still super impatient, and that was my downfall a lot of times, was like I was impatient and didn't want to wait for things to dry. All that to say, we go into this painting process, and my wife makes this beautiful painting. It's her own. She doesn't paint. She paints just for fun, as a hobby. This is like one of her first attempts at some kind of abstract painting on a large scale. It is like my favorite painting in our house. It sits up on our mantle. One, it's the story behind our time dating, it's a story behind our date night and the fun that we had. It's also, the colors are soothing, makes me think of fall and fall leaves, by far my favorite season. On the other hand, my painting just looked like a bunch of mud. It was brown by the end. The canvas was just completely brown because I had no patience. I was getting frustrated, and I was like, I think I know that I'm not supposed to paint. That just solidified the fear, solidified the insecurity of, okay, I don't know how to paint, and so I will never know how to paint, and that's that. That's silly. And I know that now, because, and I still feel this. I've got unfinished paintings sitting in the corner that are like, what are you doing, dude? What is this? What do you call this garbage? And I eventually will get back to them, but my brain it gets bored, it gets frustrated, and I just have to like work through things, right? And sometimes there's a lot of insecurity and fear about, what if I waste time on this? Like, it's not a waste of time. Creativity is never a waste of time. Curiosity is never a waste of time. It's frustrating that I still struggle with it, but it's also frustrating that like our whole world struggles with this. That we're always about being productive, right? And making things that sell. And yes, I'm an artist. I'm a business owner. Yes, I've got to sell paintings. I've got to sell prints. I've got to sell things. I've got to be able to make money to continue to make art. But then there's also this balance, right, of being a business owner and an artist, and also being curious and just making for the act of just the mere act of creating. I believe that creating is worship to God. By creating out of the materials that He has created, it's reflecting back up to Him, and it's glorifying Him. And that's ultimately what I'm called to. I let fear get in the way of that creativity. And so after that date night, this is technically my second acrylic painting, and I have been very proud of it ever since I made it. Look at that. And this, second time? What? Like, yeah, it's not realistic. It's definitely got like my cartoony vibes in it. And I'm okay with that. This I love the graphic style of cartoons. And I'm not mad about that. When I painted this, I spent hours on it. And, I made a lot of mistakes, had some doubts, and wanted to throw the canvas out. But when I finally finished it and just said, okay, this is done. This is done. This is a success. I can paint. I don't know everything about painting, and I'm going to learn some new stuff, and I can improve my paintings over time. So this is Garden of the Gods. and it's an oil painting on clayboard, which is probably by far my favorite surface to paint on. Underneath is an acrylic just toner, just acrylic paint watered down so that the paint will stick, the oil paint. But I've made 2 other versions of this. One was in watercolor and the other one was in acrylic. And each time that I've tried to make this scene, it gets better. I learned something new. I'm already learning so much just by painting this, and I'm not done, obviously. There's a big blob. Oops. Anyway, but yeah, it's not perfect. My paintings will never be perfect, but I'm learning to be okay with not having a perfect painting, because it's about the act of painting. For me, it's really soothing. It's calming. It reminds me of the places that I've been, like this place I've been to. If I can even just make it a fraction of the majesticness that it is in real life, then it's a success. Yeah, with oil paint, I had to fuddle through. I'm still fuddling through some of my paintings. I found out that I really like oil, and I really enjoy the process of making an oil painting and slowing down. And in the process of slowing down and just focusing on this work, I learn to just rest, trust the process. Whatever comes out on the other end is still okay. It's good enough. And yeah, and that goes for this video. I plan to make as many YouTube videos, as many vlogs, as many painting time lapses. So I'm recording this whole process and I'll show that when it's finished. I know that these videos will just get better and better. I hope this is encouraging to somebody who's thought about doing a YouTube channel, who's thought about doing art. We need art, and we need more people to be curious, and we need more people to let go of fear, because fear is holding us back. So, until next time, I'll see you later. That's a mess in here.